Continuing with day 134. The Grand Vizier had two daughters. Scheherazade was the elder, and Dinarzade was the younger. And Scheherazade one day went to her father, the Grand Vizier, and she said to him, "Father, will you grant me a wish?" And the Grand Vizier, her father, said, "Of course, I can deny you nothing. What is it that you would like?" She said, "I would like you to have me be the bride of the Sultan tomorrow." And the Grand Vizier could not believe what he was hearing. He said, "What? What did you just ask for?" So Scheherazade repeated that she wished to be brought to the Sultan the next day to be his bride. She said, "I wish to free all the women, all the mothers, all the daughters from this terrible terror that we are all living with. I would like to free them from it once and for all." The Grand Vizier said, Are you insane? What has come over your thinking? For there is but one way this will go, and that is for you to lose your life. Oh, Father, do not worry about me. I will either succeed in my task, or I will be put to a glorious death. The Grand Vizier responded, How can you be thinking such a thing? Think about me. Think about what it would be like for me to have to be the one to put you to death. For me alone, do not think of doing this thing. But Scheherazade would not be swayed, and she implored her father until finally he relented and agreed. Now, of course, he was troubled in his mind and in his heart, for he could not see a way out. He did not understand what Scheherazade was up to. Now, the truth was that Scheherazade was clever, witty, beautiful, and put that all together, and she had come up with a plan. Dinarzade was not quite as, out-of-the-box thinker that Scheherazade was. And so, Scheherazade, after her father had agreed, asked that Dinarzade be brought to her, because in a short time, Scheherazade would need to begin to prepare for her marriage. Dinarzade was brought to Scheherazade, and the two of them chatted. And Scheherazade asked Dinarzade to be ready, that when she married the Sultan, she would request that Dinarzade, her younger sister, be allowed to sleep in the chamber with her that night, because it would be the last night that they would be together, and they loved each other dearly. And she hoped that the Sultan would agree to this. And in agreeing to this, she would be sent for. If she was sent for, Scheherazade then asked Dinarzade an hour before dawn, an hour before sunrise, to awaken and to ask her sister, ask Scheherazade, to tell her a story, because it would be the last story that she would be able to hear from her. Well, Dinarzade agreed. And the next day, Scheherazade was married to the Sultan. The Sultan asked her to lift her veil, and she did, and he was astonished by her beauty. That evening they slept, and as had been, requested, Scheherazade had it arranged that Dinarzade slept in the chamber with them. And an hour before sunrise, Dinarzade awakened, and she asked her sister if she could tell her one last story before she was put to death. Scheherazade did not reply, but turned immediately to the Sultan and asked his permission, asked if it was okay for her to tell her younger sister one last story. The Sultan agreed. And so Scheherazade began. And we'll leave this story there and find out tomorrow what is the story that Scheherazade began telling. Okay, hope you have a good rest of your day. Happy Mother's Day.